Those are messed up. Yeah, those are messed up. No, bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, give me that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about it anymore. I need a better. Not a problem, let them put up out of service tools like this. Try to hope he's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw the boy, we taking note. Call them at the day. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them U.P.K rules. I'm making this like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up. On this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the counter. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Beat them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crack that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Shalom. Welcome again to another breakdown. You understand? With, you know what I mean, hosted by Captain I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? Cap is not here tonight, but, you know what I mean, he's a normal host. Hosted by Captain I.S.U.P.K. Officer of 1,000, Abada one, and Officer of 50, Kayad one. You know what I mean? As I said, this is the breakdown the strongholds. You know what I mean? That holds back the children of Israel today. You know what I mean? Shalom, sir. Well, today we have an interesting topic until sir get ready, you know. We have an interesting topic today. We have Muta Baruka basically saying that him no really business with coffee. You understand? Him no business with coffee and our lifestyle. Hopefully me I come through. How is the signal, sir? You hear me? Interesting topic today. We have all right, it seems like the signal poor.
Yeah.
So, there's a massive delay, sir. So you know what I mean? And you see him a little bit far away.
You hearing us?
Yeah, but delayed. How quickly you hear me? It seems like there's a massive delay. All right. So the signal kind of poor on my end. That might be the reason. However, we have a show that will be very interesting today.
About a 10-second.
Yeah, a 10-second delay. Massive. So Baruka said he don't really care about Coffee being an LGBT member. Of course, he was doing his radio show, and people wanted to hear his feedback on the situation because he's one of the leaders in the Rastafari community. And for the past couple of months, Rastafariism have been taking a serious L. You know what I mean? People have been, you know what I mean, getting exposed to be not as moral as they portray themselves. Many of the Rasta artists, them that in the past was a champion for straight people and all them things. They know them, you know what I mean? They are doing collabs with LGBT. You understand? So here in Jamaica right now, there is really, what they call it now, a backlash against the Rastafari community. So people really want to hear what Muta Baruka have to say. Of course, Muta Baruka got angry. You know what I mean? Did not want to give his take, saying that he don't care. All right, we have our next topic, sir, where I would make you go into it, about the Canadian citizen being a part of Jamaican constitution reform, as well as the other news story that you choose about the brother saying that slavery is the reason for crime. See? So which one you want to go into first, sir?
We can talk about the Canadian one.
The Canadian one. All right. So what me I going to do then, sir? Me I going to play the video. And then we are going to jump into the article. We have one article for that.
All right.
Yeah, man. All right. Remember, like the video, share upon all social media platforms. This is the breakdown on I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica channel. We have a channel, a YouTube channel for this podcast. So just go over there, subscribe, and like and share from over there as well. All right.
All right. Welcome to Officer 5000 Azab from headquarters.
Both sides.
Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Barakatah.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
The makeup being named members of the Constitution.
Abortion bias. Details in this report.
Since being named, members of the Constitutional Reform Committee has had a continuous a member of the committee has a pro-LGBT and pro-abortion bias. Social commentator and member of the Constitutional Reform Committee, Dr. Nadine Spence, says the concerns highlighted should not be the focus, but rather the expertise of the professor in constitutional reform.
There is no attempt in our deliberation to be tyrannical in our sharing of views. The committee has decided to move forward with consensus. The issues that we discuss are seen as having come to a conclusion or an agreement when we have all discussed them and we all agreed. But I wouldn't want us to begin this process of discussion on the current constitutional conversation by imposing that reality on it. And I'm sure Dr. Bailey recognizes that he's having the church, group that he represents is moving on pure conjecture.
Chairman of Jamaica Cause, Dr. Bailey, is adamant that professor should not be a committee. He's of the view that he
becomes the level of influence or a particular lifestyle that is legal in Jamaica, and that, of course, certainly would destroy the moral fiber. He comes with that proud accolade, and I think that we have to have the confidence that our constitution is being dealt with in a way that is in our best interest and not in the interest of any other nation or group of persons that have practices that are not consistent with the behavior of Jamaica.
Dr. Bailey believes that the influence of the Canadian professor is enough to sway the minds of the other 13 members.
I do believe that he comes with more weight than the average person on the committee for sure, although he's one person. And that's very spelled out in the fact that persons are insistent that he stays there and the fact that we reached for him in the first place.
But Dr. Spence is flabbergasted with the pronouncement.
I've practiced that are not consistent with the behavior of Jamaica.
Dr. Bailey believes that the influence of the Canadian professor is enough to sway the minds of the other 13 members.
So I do believe that he comes with a little bit more weight than the average person on the committee for sure, although he's one person. And that's very spelled out in the fact that persons are insistent that he stays in the first place.
Dr. Spence is flabbergasted with the pronouncements by Dr. Bailey. However, she insists that the concerns raised are not the present focus of the committee.
I'm taken aback by the kind of expression that says, you know, we don't want to hear some people, we don't have tolerance for some people, we don't want to be in the company of some people. But beyond that, I don't think for me the important thing is to discuss Professor Albert's opinion. As I said before, that's not what the committee is concerned with at this point.
They were speaking on the morning agenda on Power 106 FM on Wednesday. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
All right, pause.
Okay. Go on, sir.
All right, first thing that is a reverend, the man who said the chairman. Yeah. What I'm saying is really that's common sense.
Go on.
Yeah. It's common sense. If I am reforming my household, meaning my wife and kids, you know, providing guidance for my wife and kids, why do I need somebody who is not a part of my household to tell me how to run my household?
Right.
And what's his purpose of being there? Because he's some expert in things there. We all know, we know the Trojan ass that they are putting on Jamaica when it comes to the LGBT thing, right? LGBTQIA organization. He is a Trojan horse, so he might have skills. Is he the only one in the world with skills who can assist in constitutional reform? I doubt that. So what's the purpose of getting him? And I have to back the chairman on this one. The chairman is saying that he is influential enough to sway the mind of everybody on it. Because maybe one who is on the board is constitutional reform. You know, since being here in the States for the Passover, you know, looking at the first tour we did was the Stagville plantation tour. You know what we derived from that? Salam loud and cry. You know what we derived from that? Back in the days when before 69, what do you call it? The Martin Luther King push for again? Integration. When they were pushing for integration, I am sure that generation was believing 100% that they are paving a good road for their children. 50 years later, here we are, the descendants of those people who push for integration. We are in a worse state than they were.
That's right.
Who push for integration? The wealthy blacks.
That's right. That's right.
Who is pushing for constitutional reform now? Certainly not the poor blacks in Jamaica.
Right.
So when we have this man in there, next thing you know, constitutional reform, and yours are right, man. All your rights gone to LGBT.
God.
Yeah, you're fooling out a farm and you don't see male or female, you know. You know, come on the other. So you see homo, you see lesbian, you see all of them, and then other. You know, because male and female not going to exist again. And it's going to be constitutionally correct. Right. But you know, one of the good things about our constitution as the Israelites of the Bible, our constitution was written over 3,000 years ago. No amendments.
Right.
No reform. Perfect from the beginning. But what do we want? We prefer House of Parliament with men who sit and reform the constitution and make changes to law and make new laws daily, rather than going with the perfect constitution that was given to us. Show me in the Bible where our constitution that the Most High gave us was ever reformed. No reform, only explained, because that's what Christ did. Christ came and explained our constitution, right? What they are doing here is, well, I know why they are reforming the constitution, because they want to now remove from England being Queen being the head of state. You'd have to change the constitution for that. What I also find interesting is, you know, the JLP in power now, and the JLP has always been the party that has been blocking constitutional reform in Jamaica. I still don't get the meat or the main reason for them to just make this about turn. I remember when we were doing Hebrew Academy, I would say about turn. What's the Hebrew command again? I.S.U.P.K.
In the Hebrew.
Right? I don't know the main reason for the JLP now to make that about turn, to be the one reforming the constitution. Right? If you remember a couple of years ago, they were the ones who were calling the PNP leader PJ Patterson a woman, you know. Right?
Gone.
Yet PJ didn't put any homosexual, PJ didn't do sensitization of the government workers towards LGBT. PJ did none of that. But they see man come and do it. They see man now constitutional reform. They see man now put a LGBT Canadian member on the panel. Right? He's not what you call him again. The panel should consist of Jamaicans. Jamaican born national. Anything else, you have them for, what's the word, the proper word to use? You can
council.
No, not council. Anyone else, you can ask them their opinion. What's it? Advisors. Okay. Anything else, you have them as advisors, not sitting on the council. Right? So there are still some sensible Jamaicans leave. I really hope they really make the step in the right direction, so that 50 years from now, I hope it doesn't happen, in the sense that, you know, Christ returned before that. But let's say no one knows when Christ returned. So let's say Christ doesn't return before this constitutional reform go through. Then, you know, the generation after us won't look back on us and say we were a bunch of F-ups. Just like we are looking back at those who gave us
civil rights.
No, in America.
Oh, in America.
Sorry, in Jamaica.
Oh, in Jamaica.
Independence.
God.
Today we look at them and say, you know, those politicians were a bunch of F-ups.
Right.
They are the reason why we are in what we are in now. So we wouldn't like 50 years from now, or even 20 years from now, that generation that comes after us and say, you know, that generation that gone and did this constitutional reform is a bunch of F-ups. Right. Yeah, then put you in this mess that we are in. So I have to really support the chairman, man. Jamaicans should make the decision. For too long now, they have been trying to, you know, push. And what the chairman is saying is homosexuality is illegal in Jamaica. Or are you going to get a outright person that is such to be making constitutional reform? This is like now you asking a rapist to make laws on rape. You ain't going to get more than 2 years for maximum sentence for rape if you put a rapist in charge of making laws for rape. Yeah, I know the wise one read between the lines of that. But you know that must have been, yes.
So like, yes, sir. purposefully at this picture right here. The chairman him say, you know, of course, him gonna have some influence because him pull more weight. See? Meaning he's right between all of them where you see right there. The Canadian citizen is the highest rank right there, you know, amongst all of them. And notice them bringing him being a LGBT. When you see her reaction to him a while ago when he was playing the tape, you can see it in her body language that she knew that she was, you know what I mean? She ranked lower than him because she's even afraid for looking at him face. Look on her. She turn away, right? Look on her, she turn away. That body language alone tell you that, you know what I mean? Our leaders, them, is servants to, you know what I mean? America, Canada, and them. So that's
it's just not comfortable being around him, but
okay, can.
she's just not comfortable being around him, but she's not sure how to express it. You know.
Okay, can.
Anyway, we have Officer Azab here. Is that Jamaican too? So what's your take on that?
I have a scripture to go along with
All
what
right.
you're saying, Priest Officer Abada one. You know
All
what I mean?
right.
I have a scripture here that says, Exodus 23 and 32 says, "Thou shalt make no covenant with them."
All right.
You know what I mean? A covenant is a contract. We're not supposed to make no covenant with no outside people. And it goes on to say, 33, "They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me." That's the Most High talking. Because our rules say you cannot be an LGBT member in our place. And you shouldn't bring that around here because you might influence others to be like you. You see what I'm saying? So what they did now is their way is always to bring in, like you said, a Trojan horse.
All right.
Because they want to push this thing against us. Because if they, when I'm reading, as we taught in the UPK, right? By Commander YAHANNA, according to the book of Judith, right? The only way our race and our economy and everything that comes with us is to remain weak is if the heathen can continue making us sin.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
always say that.
Can.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the very second we stop sinning and we stop worshiping their Christian gods and we stop following their lifestyle, right? The Most High will give us power and raise us up. We call on the Most High's name in Egypt, and it said that the Most High had respect unto us. You see what I'm saying? But now, because of Christianity and these politicians, they've given us a persona to always compromise to some other outside nation. You know what I mean? And through that compromising, we lose our integrity. We lose the way that would make the Most High respect unto us. You know what I mean? And they pushing these LGBT thing on Jamaica for years. You know what I mean? And you know, it seems like you know we have LGBT members in Jamaica, but just like any demon, a demon cannot get enough. You see what I'm saying?
Never enough.
The demon can't get enough. You know what I mean? You would think one woman will get with a man, ruin his life, and you know, and you think she's gonna say, "Oh, she messed up. She's gonna stop ruining men's life." She goes and find out all the men she can ruin life now. You know
She's
what I mean?
now an expert at ruining lives.
She's now an expert. She now counsels other women to ruin other men's lives. Because a demon cannot stop. As what the scripture says, the earth is given into the hands of Satan. You see what I'm saying? Because demons will not stop until they conquer the earth. You know what I mean? It's like the LGBT members. They don't want children to be born again. I don't know what their agenda is. They want to stop the mankind from populating. Or I don't know what their agenda is. They just want everybody to have AIDS. I don't know what their agenda is. What is the end of their agenda? What is their ultimate mission? Because you know, people are people free to be LGBT members in Jamaica? Will they get arrested for being LGBT members in Jamaica?
Not right now.
Not right now. So what is their agenda? They don't get enough. They want to do what? Push more LGBT influence on us for what?
they want to make it now law.
They want to make it law.
Yeah, they won't be arrested now because the law would presently just decide turn a blind eye and not prosecute. But they don't want that. It's like you are walking in the midst of several gunmen. You're at their mercy. All right. But if you disarm them, what happens?
They don't have no power.
They have no power.
You won't fear them.
So in other words, if they have arms and you are there, they can attack you when they want. But if they have no arms, you are okay. So they want to disarm the law. So even though the law is troubling them now, they want to disarm the law so that the law can flip on them.
Right. One time, officer, give it to big up Captain Azania in upstate New York, Syracuse, right? He said something one time. He said onto what you're saying, right? He said the LGBT members in New York, he was bringing out an article, how the LGBT members in New York wanted to have a march. And in that march, they wanted to put in a rule for the march for there to be no police there.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? They want to disarm the people who have the law.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I was like, why would they want to do that? I'm thinking, okay, I know I live in New York, and I see LGBT members are very violent. You see what I'm saying? They're a violent bunch of people when they get together because they're demon, always craves for destruction. Just like in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. They wanted to rape the angels and destroy them, and they wanted to burn down. They wanted to destroy Lot's house, rip the doors off the hinges because they're violent. According to the Bible. According to the Bible, they're violent, right? And in that, I'm saying, yeah, they just want to be violent. Captain Azania was like, no, what they want to do is they want to have sex in the middle of the street.
Right.
That's what the LGBT members want to do. You see what I'm saying? They want their lifestyle to be fully accepted
out in the open.
And the open. And where they cannot be disarmed with their, what do you call that? Their acts of sin. They want to be able to do anything they want to in the middle of the street without being disarmed of their activities or dissuaded from their activities in the middle of the street.
Right.
So I don't know if that is their agenda. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
that probably slack here.
The reason for constitutional reform is not just to get homosexual in, but that's a perfect opportunity now. If you're going to reform the constitution, being that you want to reform it for years now, why not put in make it, remove those bugger laws, right? Make it law. You can be a he, she, a it, or a they.
Good.
You want to say something? So like the sister in here from the tribe of Asher in here with us here. The microphone. I'm not sure if the microphone is connected. But what she just said is in America they're trying to make it a law in the schools to teach children about the LGBT lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because
hey, hold on, give it up. We have
yeah, that's right.
a Godite sister.
Not Godite,
Asher. Asher, right? In the house. Well, I know she's not a Benjamin, right? So I'm Asher right in the house. And then in America, they're trying to make it law for what? Yeah. Wow.
They're trying to meet the children from early.
Right.
Think that it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they are trying to remove the teaching of slavery from the schools. So it tells you that 50 years from now, what they really want is what? Gay slaves.
Oh, they want gay slaves. Good, nice. I got a precept here, Cairo, if you don't mind.
Canada one can. Go ahead, sir.
This proverb is 22:6. Right?
Canada one can.
This is in the Bible. This is the words of God. This is wisdom. This is how the world works. It says this: train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. So why are they teaching this to our children? Because they want them to be gay when they're older.
Right.
Gay people are formed. They're not born gay because children are not born knowing sex. They don't know what sex is. You see what I'm saying? Nature will tell you. You go to school. What's the first thing you do? Look at the girl in the corner over there by nature. So you have to teach him to not like the girl, like I suppose. You give him books about two daddies in the house. You see what I'm saying? Or else why would you need to teach them? If they are just born, if it was just some kids are born gay, some kids are born straight, then why do you feel the need to want to teach them this? It's because they are on purpose trying to train these children to be gay.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, all of them know that they became gay because they were molested. They all know that.
And they know that. You see what I'm saying?
So why they want? Why do they want to? In other words, they are promoting. That means they're gonna be less. Constitutional reform is gonna probably allow less penalty for child molestation. Because that's the only way you're gonna get gays.
That's true. And what Abadawan is saying, that's a point that cannot be missed based on what we see here in America. Because in America, with the LGBT community, there was always this thing called the Boys to Men Association, where grown men, the oppressors, the Caucasian flavor of races of people, right? With long beards and hair and everything. They're walking around with these little children. I don't know where they get these children from. But these children are their lovers. And they march for well, Captain Tazar did a lecture on it one time. I was shocked. I never heard nothing about these things before. And they have a whole march through a city. You see what I'm saying? We have a whole crowd. I'm talking about crowd that look like who was talking about Martin Luther King. The march to Washington, D.C. It's a crowd of just pale faces. And there are grown men walking around with little boys, and the boys are there not accompanied by their parents, but with their male adult lover, and then they're pushing these things in the school. They got a thing in the school where they're trying to push an adult molesting a child, and the child is scared, but they're trying to tell him that the child shouldn't be scared. I don't understand. It's confusion. I don't get it, man. I don't.
And Silakia, sir, getting drag shows in front of children as well.
Yeah.
But
you know what I mean?
Isn't that what the word Babylon mean?
Confusion.
Yeah. All
right. So Lakia, sir, is this a good segue into Mutabaruka and then come back to the next story?
You could.
Canada one can. All right. So this story now is about Mutabaruka, and he's basically saying that he don't really care about coffee and fair lifestyle. You understand? I will play the tape. Remember, like this live, subscribe to the Breakdown channel and I.S.U.P.K Jamaica, and share on all social media platforms. See?
I can tell a man something. I'm going to tell you, whosoever tape the program, them can tape the program. Listen now. You see my brains don't function like most people's brains, you know. So you see, now, we don't have no time. For every day, I sit down and get up, I go on YouTube, because sometimes I go on YouTube and music, I look for, you know. And then I just bounce on a headline. And then I say, what am I saying so now? And it's for me, the first part, right, I lick it, you know. So now, I'm going to say, well, I never hear Muta say that, because watch your man. I don't business with that. I'm not going to spend my whole time, every time I say something that I go talk about. It's madness. It's a kind of madness. And I'm
so Lakia, somebody say pause?
Yeah, pause.
No pun intended. God.
No pun intended. Pause. You know what I mean?
Lakia. God.
Musa said he doesn't business about the LGBT lifestyle that Coffee got going on in his country.
Lakia.
I suppose what Muta saying is just that I'm tired now. Time for him come out of public life.
Yeah. He give up. He should give up that role. He
Yeah,
should.
man. You're a public figure, Muta.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah. He should. He's a role model for young Rastafarians coming up, looking for the wisdom of Rastafari, Selassie Jah, and he should go find Officer Abada one and Officer Kaid one and give you brothers his seat because but guess who's not tired? Officer Abada one ain't tired.
Exactly.
That's right.
Kaid one is not tired.
La.
You see what I'm saying? So if he's tired, give up the mic.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
That's what we should do. Pass up the mic because you tired, man. Quit. Yeah, man. Let someone else get the job.
It means a role model in Jamaica. So, well, it's the same thing with the integration. Yeah, but most of them who gonna push for integration and say, "Boy, we're tired of this thing, man. This me can because how they would feel, is that me richer than this white man here, so and me can sit down beside him in our shop, in our restaurant. I can't use the same bathroom, and me richer than him. Man, this is crap, man. Get rid of these laws, man. Not knowing that was the exact thing that was protecting his people.
That's right.
Yeah. Because now you can use this, you can sit on the same toilet seat in the public restroom. Because this only applies to public restroom, You can't go in here and go use his bathroom. You cannot use his bathroom at his home. So now you integrate so that you and him can sit on the same public toilet seat. One that you don't even want to sit on now. And you and him can sit side by side at the same table at a public restaurant. But guess what? You have lost your wealth. We blacks have lost our wealth. We have lost our pride communities here in America.
And Silakia, sir, if I may.
Jamaica is a similar thing. Yeah, man, because with the advent of the Chinese, if we not careful, we become boxed into a corner right there in Jamaica. And we cannot go. Right now, how much public beach we can go on to?
Not much.
There's no such thing as a private beach, The land in front of the beach is private. The beach itself is public. Right. That is law. So that's another thing that we have to look out for again when they say constitutional reform. Right? It's a whole lot of things. We probably need to find a way. But we are not in the business of fixing Esau's world.
Right.
We're in the business of raising our people, getting their eyes to open. Right? So, but while we are here, we cannot. What we have power to do, we should do it right. That's how we have to look at it.
Salakia, sir, if I may, Zin, on the topic of Muta. This is the same Muta Baruka, who is known for speaking about, the system and the injustice of the system.
That's why I say he's a role model when it comes to those things.
You understand? So, Muta Baruka, him don't see it as a burden to talk about politics. You don't even see it as a burden to talk about music industry. You understand? When the youth them do them chopper music, where him burn out straight, him say them degrade the music. You understand? Him big up the Afrobeat artists them, saying that they are doing the right thing, and dancehall will be no more. Then him glorify them, and him disrespect our local young artists, them saying that basically them are the spawn of Satan. See? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to speaking out against Coffee, you know what I mean? Coffee did a collab with Sam Fish, See? Sam Fish in that video, I mean, I watch the video, but in the video, he was shaking his ass in the video, wearing some abominable thing. Then,
outside.
See? Why Muta Baruka can't talk about that? Salakia. All right, sir, we have some more of the tape, He may even bury himself in a deeper hole, sir. I don't know if you want to hear some more of the tape.
Great, no?
Yeah, man.
And want me declare myself. Declare myself for what? To who? Me dey on the radio now for much years and no man. I declare when I declare myself to who? Me declare myself to my wife. I'm a family. I'm a good friend. Them me have around me. I have to declare myself on no internet. Declare myself for what? After a man I put no food in my mouth.
Now you tell Muta.
He might try to take it out.
Yeah,
When a man I hear me tell me, when a man tell me about coffee, when a man coffee, when a man I put no food in my mouth. He might try to take it out.
Exactly. Because LGBT you feed him. So we are trying to take out the food out of his mouth.
Right.
Trying to give a life.
God.
Oh, you know, how much years you think you have left on this world? In this earth? Do the right thing, man. Make it right. Just remember this, that when your eyes close, you will be reincarnated. You might be reincarnated as a fish, since as you support it.
Right.
Right? You're going to find yourself in hell in the next reincarnation. Do the right thing, man. Without tell us, are we in the UPK? We don't really, we don't go down and say we are bonfire upon this and bonfire upon that. But when we are put on the spot, we let it be known.
Right.
That's it. I mean,
Salakia, sir.
And our view is biblical. Continue.
Salakia, sir. This is the same Muta Baruka who speaks negative about the Bible. You understand?
Yeah.
That says the Bible is outdated. See? When the Bible clearly took a stance against LGBT, and Muta Baruka is saying that him not take no stance. Him not care. It seems like Muta Baruka need the Bible more than anybody else.
God.
You understand? Because him not able to make up his mind. When the Bible make it known clear, say if a man lieth with mankind, he shall be put to death. See, that is the most I stand upon that. Not saying that we go out and kill anybody, but that is the most I stand upon that. See, but Muta Baruka can't make up his mind. You understand? Slakia.
And I think Muta grew up as an altar boy, you know, so.
Okay, God. Slakia.
Not to bend through society.
God.
But what does it profit a man to gain the world and
lose his soul?
Lose his soul.
Just remember that, Muta. When you were an altar boy, you used to hear the Bible, and you probably hear that verse. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Right? Just remember that.
If I could, carry one.
Cancer.
I have here the Bible, right? I have Mark 3:27, written in red. This is Yahawashi talking. This is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords talking right here. The conquering Lion of Judah, from the tribe of Judah, speaking right here. He says, "No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man."
Right.
And then he will spoil his house. When you're looking at coffee, you're looking at someone goods who have been spoiled.
God.
I don't know what happened to her and between her father and the strong man of her house. But Muta Baruka is supposed to be a strong man of the house in Jamaica. He's the public figure. He's the role model. You see what I'm saying? He's supposed to be standing up and standing up against this. But he don't got the time. What does that sound? Does that sound strong? He can't business with this thing with everybody chat about on the internet. On the internet. The internet is the highway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He's supposed to be a gate in that highway. So everybody can't just come in. So some Canadian reformer can't just come in. But then, of course, these strongmen, these politicians, all the one that took the picture with the Canadian, what is he? A Canadian what?
I think he's an attorney.
A Canadian attorney who wants to make reforms for LGBT in Jamaica. They show that they don't
he's
got
a constitutional reform expert. Right?
He's a constitutional reform expert.
And I bet he has never reformed the Constitution of Canada.
He has not done that in Canada, but he wants to do it in Jamaica to do what? Make the children gay, I suppose. I don't know. Because I don't know what grown man he gonna make gay. You see what I'm saying? Because there's men in Jamaica like Officer Abadawan and Kaidoan who are strong and will be the strong man in the gate.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But as we see here, Muta Baruka is not, you know, he's not the man that we thought he was.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? According to the Bible.
And Salakia, sir, if I may. See? All right. So, basically, I make it seem like it's unfair that people is asking him what's his opinion. He's making it seem like they are asking him his opinion, and his opinion on the matter, though is not relevant when Muta Baruch is a part of the Rastafari community. And the Rastafari some, you know what I mean, some knock from the other day.
You're coming through unclear.
Okay, come, sir. Let me change the mic.
All right. Well, in the meantime, just to explain what Muta was actually saying. Muta was saying, listen, I'm too old for this. SHIT, right? I can't afford to lose what I have already gained. So I will just keep quiet. Okay? And leave me alone.
He doesn't want to get cancelled.
But what he should remember is that he has children and grandchildren. Right? So, if he, you know, many times they say things to protect themselves, not remembering their generations to come.
What you're saying is so heavy because he has children and he has not trained his children to take his place when he gets old.
Right.
He must have seen that, you know, his age is gonna catch him, and he's gonna be too old to stand up in the fight and the resistance. He didn't train someone to say, "Hey, this is my protege to stand in my place." Right. He ain't trained nobody, man. I mean, even Bounty Killer knew to train up Movado. You see what I'm saying? He knew to have someone, but of course, you know, that's the world where there's no loyalty. But of course, you know, he knew that someone else had to take up the baton. You see what I'm saying?
Gun.
I got here, if I could, carry one.
Gun, sir. I
got here Genesis 49:9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So, Muta Baruka, you know, you're an old lion. You know, the rest of them call himself lion. You're an old lion. You know what I mean? And who shall rouse you up? You know what I mean? No problem. Come on and Johnny Hanna will rouse us up. You see what I'm saying?
If we follow Rastafarian community, we're going to end up in a worse situation than integration. Yeah. They give them say one give away the music, you know.
Gone, sir.
Their biggest dream is to perform in Europe in front of an all-white crowd.
That's right.
That means money. So what are you doing? You're going after the money. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why they join the music. Many of them who in entertainment, they don't go in. It's a career. That's all we have to remember. It's a career. Right. Here, our duties are in career. Yeah. Everywhere seeking career benefit, we wouldn't be here.
Right. If I could also, Abadawan, what you're bringing out is so heavy because we see it every day and we don't know what it is. But of course, with the I.S.U.P.K, we can prove what we say with the Bible. The Bible does says what priest officer Abadawan said. It says this: a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. Meaning what? When he talks, you can't believe him when he talks. He want to burn out the oppressor. He want to act like he's not with the Europeans. But where does his feet go? You see what I'm saying? Whose eyes who's the wink of his eye really calling to that you can't see? You see what I'm saying? His feet walks to Europe to do those shows. He wants to be with the Europeans, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? All of that back to Africa nonsense. Ain't no Rastafari getting on no plane to go to Gambia. or Ethiopia. Well, how is Muta Baruka saying, we're from Ethiopia. I'm gonna settle my life in Ethiopia because I cannot business with this anymore.
Yeah, and he has the finances to resettle somewhere in Africa.
There we go.
But I'm sure he has traveled there.
Uh-huh.
And the interesting thing is, he has realized these are not my people.
That's right.
But I can't tell them back home.
You can't tell them that.
I've built a career on this.
I
can't say it. So what am I going to do? Tell you what. I can't afford to give away, to lose what I've gained. So tell you what. The Bible is wrong. The Bible is wrong. We are Africans, but we need to train those people back there. Just remember this. You were here in Jamaica, you were the ones who were enslaved. They weren't enslaved.
Right.
Your mind got damaged, not theirs. Why should you be the one to be going back to teach them? Unless you're going to teach them how to be a good slave. And that's not what you're doing. You're over there teaching them how to be it. Yeah. We saw that in one of the videos about Sasha Mani. Yeah, there was a Rastaman who had a community, what we call it, community center.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Ethiopian young boys would come in the evenings and play football and things. He himself said, we have to teach them
proper IG.
Well, no, in Buck Panda part, man. How to, properly take care of themselves.
Yeah. They need to go be it, man. Yeah.
So I'm sure while we were enslaved, we taught the masters to be it.
Right.
But then they want to say all things come from Africa.
Exactly. The Africans don't do a simple thing as being.
If all things came from Africa, when he went to Africa, they should have put him onto a special advanced method of bathing. If it came from Africa. But you see, that's just not true. It's just not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. African music couldn't even advance without observing through the internet. Reggae and hip hop. And dancehall and R&B and soul music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would even advance. So what does that mean? The drum didn't really come from them.
String instrument.
Yeah. It wasn't really from them. They got it from somebody, and they cannot change their tune. Why? Because the tune changes are not there anymore.
That's right.
The people who change the tune and make all the genres and music, they sold them on slave ships to the Americas. So in America, all of the from what? Blues, R&B, soul, rap, hip hop, drill, trap music, you know what I mean? Reggae, ska, dancehall, merengue, all that is going on over here. Because you sold the people that made all those things. It wasn't that.
As a matter of fact, in Jamaica, we have a dance called quadrille. You ever heard of that one?
Lord, this is the first time I hear about that one, sir. Slakia.
Quadrille. You never hear about that? That's before reggae days.
Okay, can.
Quadrille came about as a mockery to the white people, to the slave master. So in other words, I saw the master dance. And they build a dance out of that they call quadrille. And out of quadrille evolved mento, ska, reggae, so on. But at first, because what they used to do, they used to have like Sundays. Slaves don't work on Sundays, so the masters have they get together on Sundays, and the slaves will be there serving and watching the masters doing their dance and thing. And then when they meet in their slave quarters, there would be a mockery and say, "Hey, I saw you see a master dance."
Right.
And they come up with a dance named quadrille.
Yeah, they need to make a dance named Elon Musk. You see Elon Musk dance yet? He dance like that. Yeah.
I look at the dance, so they call it Earth dance.
Yeah.
That's us. No, that's not African. We build things out of joke. Yeah.
Right.
This is what Muta needs to understand. All right, I think we can go for the next show, next topic.
Canary one cancer. All right, so this next article, well, not an article, it's, you know what I mean, video, is basically a brother stating the obvious that result as of a being in slavery. You understand? Remember to like this, you know what I mean, this video, share on all social media platforms, subscribe to I.S.U.P.K Jamaica, and also the Breakdown podcast. You understand? This is the past podcast where we break down the strongholds that are holding down the children of Israel today. You understand?
Start of the year that compared to the same period last year, which shows 300 increase in other crimes. Dr. Paul Bourne is acting director of institutional research at Northern Caribbean University, NCU.
Jamaica is among the top 5 countries in the world, and I don't want to give you the exact figure. We're in the top 5 for the most murderous place in the world. So that is how bad things are. So what we want to make persons aware that of all the crimes committed in Jamaica over, I say 21-year period, we're talking about 56,000 crimes. 49% of those crimes occur on a roadway. 15% of those crimes occur in the homes.
He notes that there has been an increase in white-collar crimes.
They're shifting away from murder substantially. So we're seeing other crimes occurring in terms of missing people, abductions. Those are some things that we really need to address. And we are saying, based on the statistics for missing people, including that of abductions, a number of these crimes are committed against young persons less than 18 years old.
Dr. Bourne also pointed to the prevalence of gender-based crimes.
We take, for example, missing people. It is substantially a female phenomenon. If we take abduction, it's a female phenomenon. If we take robberies, murders, rapes, lastly, it's a male phenomenon. But not only male, young persons phenomenon, persons who are less than 35 years old or even 25 years old. So these young persons are committing substantially these murders, these rapes, these robberies, male that is. And in terms of the female aspect, we're seeing missing people and abductions being a female phenomenon.
He explained that the aim of the research is to bring awareness to the general public.
Based on the statistics for missing people, including that of abductions, a number of these crimes are committed against young persons less than 18 years old. It's almost 6% of those crimes. So we are saying, parents, Jamaicans, we need to take a stock of what is going on. Because a number of persons who know these children are taking them away. And we have got to put measures in place to address this problem.
Interestingly, contrary to the popular rhetoric, the findings suggest that the root cause of these crimes is not poverty.
In 1987, Derek Gordon said the society is structured in keeping with substantially what occurs during slavery. All the
root cause of these crimes is not poverty.
In 1987, Derek Gordon said the society is structured in keeping with substantially what occurs during slavery. All the inequalities, injustices are occurring same way in Jamaica now, and those must be changed. They have not changed. Act to know what is going on.
In the meantime, he's calling on the nation as a collective body to take stock of what is happening in the country and address the root cause.
We are here at this junction. What we need to do is to take a stock of our actions. This matter now goes beyond politics, goes beyond those who are in the middle class or upper class. It's a matter that all Jamaicans need to take a stock. Let's now look at our actions or inactions. We are creating a part of this monster. And our children no longer are seeing us as role models. They want to actually eliminate a number of us because of what we have done to them in the past. So we are saying, let us start addressing the problem that we're having in Jamaica. Otherwise, many of us are going to have to dig a hole to go under to survive or go somewhere else to live.
Carrie and Simpson.
Let's now look at our...
Salakia. Sir, I don't know if it's...
Hold on, your mic again.
Okay, Salakia about that.
you know what's the interesting thing when it comes to the crime discussions in Jamaica? Every single one of those persons is afraid to discuss from the period of when crime began to grow in Jamaica and what really caused it to start growing. Crime didn't start growing in Jamaica until the late 70s to 80s when CIA intervened in Jamaica and teach the men how to hunt and kill each other.
Right.
We were poor before that and the crime wasn't high. We are poor after that and the crime is still high and the crime is high. What's the difference? The oppressor came on the ground and teach us how to murder each other.
Right.
And there has been no correction of that since. Right? All that is happening is that the men are now building on what they learn. This is like how we talk about the music and how they get the idea. I mentioned the quadrille, you know, began as a mockery to the slave master. You see what it grew into now? Reggae music. Right? It grows into that. So you come now and you teach the young men, you know, this is how you do it. It is called terrorist tactics, you know. It's a formal training within the military, you know. So you come with a military training and you give it to the men on the street. Right? What they have done is built on what they have learned.
Right.
To what they have now. Why not come in and teach the same like how you go into underground and teach them how to kill each other. Go underground and give them the anti-terrorist tactics. Because there is terrorist and anti-terrorist training within the military. And the CIA. Give the men them the anti-terrorist training. But no, there is money to be made. Lawyers don't ride bicycle again. There was a time in Jamaica when the man said, "I'm a lawyer," you could look at him and you say, "Well, why don't find another profession?" You're not even a drive a good car. Not anymore. Why? Because he's making his money out of crime.
Yeah, bad man forgot court. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
There was a time, even in the city even the parish that you're in, Clarendon had only 4 funeral parlor once. I think there is about close to 10 or more now.
No.
Why? Because of crime. The police force has grown. Why? Because of crime. Judges are now paid. Why? Because of crime. Right? You need more warders. So crime now has become an industry. They have no intention.
Yeah.
The only thing they want to do is to prevent the crime from making the country look so bad. That's the only thing they're interested in. So when they come on and talk, I mean, you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is so heavy because I remember I haven't been to Jamaica in a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time when I was very consistent right before the Tivoli incursion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I was making constant visits to Jamaica, and they was always talking about we need to find a way to get more money in the economy. You know what I mean? And they would say we need to do things for tourism, you do things for this and that. But then anybody knows the bad man have the whole of the money because they are every gang come here and they take over because you're in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So cocaine is $1 billion industry. You know what I mean? And they find and you know the guys will find all kind of ways to bring money to Jamaica. Now, how do you get that money into? If I'm a judge, how do I get his money into my pocket? You know what I mean? You have to invest in crime and find some of the the bail money to come this way,
mm-hmm.
and you know the under the table money to come this way. You know what I mean? You know you gotta get him to have influence in the neighborhood, so his soldiers under him can do crime, get arrested, and more money goes to what? The police. The police get paid. The lawyer gets paid. The bad man is gonna pay the lawyer. He doesn't want to go to jail. I don't think. What's the name? What's Wanda name? He don't want to go to jail. They're gonna get the money to not go to jail, to pay the bail. You know what I mean? To pay the lawyer, to get under the table, to sneak out of jail at night time. You know what I mean? Because all this money is coming abroad through them. It's lucky about that one.
Yeah, that is true. And the lawyer when they commit themselves when they get caught, the lawyer always say, "So wait, all along you do your thing, you know. So if you put on your lawyer money, man." Listen, bad men have a code in Jamaica, you know. They don't arm lawyers, you know. Well, unless them treat them, you know, there's some ill treatment or something. Lawyers, doctors, nurses, they're no trouble them, you know. Yeah, because when they go out and commit their crimes and they get injured, they as a matter of fact, if there's a nurse living, any nurse living within an inner city area, you know, community, she I'll then go and then just tell her you need to have some gauze and, you know, things for first aid because you will get knocked up in the middle of the night. Yeah, and then paying them, you know. Yeah, but I believe say bad man them are scuffle them. They pay them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's an underground industry that is flourishing, right? If you know, we say the economy not growing, but big houses are going up, and it's not foreign money. I bill all of them, right? Where is the money coming from? If it is coming through crime, you know, why not? Well, according to him now, the crime is kind of now shifting, going into white collar crime. Let's see about the music shift. It ain't stay a quadrille. It evolved into mentor, it evolved into ska, right? It evolved into streggae, and then you get reggae. Well, guess what? The people are doing the same thing with the crime that they had learned from earlier. And they are all afraid to go back to that time and amend it. So if you can Google crime rate in Jamaica, especially murder, because that is the major one that is the problem for Jamaica. Crime rate in Jamaica before 19. As a matter of fact, you can check it before independence. Independence was what, 69?
62, I think, sir.
62. Yeah, you're right. August 62. Right? So what you can come up with for crime rate before we got independence and crime rate before 1975.
Canada one gun.
I could have that one.
Yeah.
In the early 90s, they said Kingston, Jamaica was the murder capital of the world in the early 90s.
Yes, because that was the time when they began pushing the LGBT and us. And there was a stronger push that time against LGBT than now. Right now, the government, the government is they are getting relaxed, right? Because, you know, it's like they have become like Uta now. Say, boy, trust me, we can't keep pushing. You know, we're gonna lose everything. So we have to go take a lick light. Well,
Salakia, sir.
Look with that, yeah.
Salakia, sir, we have something on Wikipedia. It says, when Jamaica gained independence in 1962, the murder rate was 3.9 per 100,000 inhabitants, one of the lowest in the world.
The world. One of the lowest in the entire world.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, we can't even blame slavery for crime.
Right.
Because post-slavery, I mean, you couldn't know because them colonial laws that they had, you know, they were draconian, you know. The colonial laws. You know, in the colonial days, you could not be seen with cane. You know the cane that they grow in the cane field. Yeah, they can't be seen with that kind of cane within the communities outside of crop, you know. Because that means they went in the cane field to break it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the laws were draconian then, but is that the laws more relaxed now? Not really. Just that the oppressor has given us a different role. That one of murder. Read on what that say. Read on with what that say before you move it.
Can this Peter Bunting insistence that murder were lower when he was National Security Minister beyond tiresome. I'll continue. He also has numbered nearly a support is immature and misleading both, including comparative budgetary allocation. Well, numbers, violent crime, especially murder, has been out of control since 1975. So he's saying that since 1975, you know what I mean, the crime, the murder thing basically exploded, sir. That is one article that I found.
See? 1975. All right. Check what happened in 1975.
Canada one can.
What happened in Jamaican politics 1975? Talking about corrupted police forces. Them corrupt the police force.
Right. All right, sir. This political violence became commonplace in Jamaica. Political parties began paying off crime bosses for local gang support, assassination threats. Attempts also started becoming more frequent. By 1974, the PNP openly vowed their support for the principles of democratic socialism. So that basically I tell you what took place during that period that, you know what I mean?
Come on, read on.
Canada one can. PNP candidate Michael Manley began public praise of Fidel Castro. The JLP emerged as a right-wing counter to this new emerging leftism. The Central Intelligence Agency began supplying weapons to JLP vigilantes.
Hold on, read that part again.
The Central Intelligence Agency began supplying.
Otherwise known as what?
The CIA.
The CIA. When you hear Officer Abadawan saying crime in Jamaica began because of the CIA, you know what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Here have it. I know what I'm talking about. That is the beginning and end all of what we have in today, right? We make reggae music out of Quadrille. You see what they're making out of the crime when CIA give them now, eh? All right. Read on.
The Central Intelligence Agency began supplying weapons to JLP vigilantes. By the 1960s, by 1976 election, more than 100 had been murdered during the conflict, and political parties began forming paramilitary divisions.
Exactly. So political
in
parties.
1978.
Militant.
Right.
Right. Go on.
Canada one can. In 1978, 5 JLP supporters were massacred by official Jamaican soldiers.
All right. So you see, what they began to do now is use the legal police and soldiers to carry out their political dirty work.
Right.
Read on.
Canada one can. reggae music became a voice for peace in the country, and the landmark One Love Peace concert was held in hope of peace. By the 1980 election, 844 people were murdered in political violence preceding the vote.
All right. So it began spinning now. Spin
Okay,
open into the trade.
Right.
Right? So it moved from quadrille and it now gone into mento and scare. Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't know what they had expected. I would like to believe that we are right where the oppressor wants us. Yeah, they want us killing each other. Look at the other Israelite tribes. They push for crime in every single Israelite country that they can. Right? Either directly or indirectly. Right? And there has been no countermeasure to make the corrections to the things that they have done. The only thing we can do is the legal citizen, learn how to fire a gun, right? In self-defense. Because there is going to come a time when they call the police and the police is taken up into another battle. You are left to defend yourself, right? Wherever we are, whether we are in Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, or America, that is what is grinding down to us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Self-defense. Right?
If I could have that one.
You can.
That part right there was heavy too when they said they had a One Love Peace concert. Right?
That was a massacre.
Right? They had the concert in hopes for peace. Yeah. But here we go in Jeremiah.
It was the hope for peace, you know. It was a planned destruction.
That's not the one where Bob Marley and
yeah. Well, I don't know if that was the same peace concert, but it was one planned by whoever. There was a CIA puppet out there, and what they did, they invited all the top dogs, the top guns from, I think it was both parties too. Probably it was a move to say, all right, we'll try and get them out the way now. Yeah. I think that it's after that no Cardi Massop died, and all the signatories to the peace treaty that they signed from both sides. And you know what's the interesting thing? No Chinese died with those political violence. No Indian, no Arab, no Syrian. Siaga was born in Georgia. Georgia, USA.
Okay.
No white men.
Who was the
all blacks from both sides? Who was that?
Right.
I heard their family go back to some Syrian ancestry.
Could be. Google where was Edward Siaga born. I'm not sure it's a crime began from right there in the House of Parliament. I'll prove something to you.
All right, right quick, right there. As they're looking for that, while they're looking for that card one, right? I'm gonna read right here again, right?
Yeah, man.
It says reggae music became a voice for peace in the country, even though reggae music did not give us peace. They had a hope for peace. It was a voice for peace because they wanted peace. Now Jeremiah 6:14 says, "They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying peace, peace." But that's what they're saying there in the reggae songs. They say peace, peace, and everything is gonna be okay. One love, one heart. But Jeremiah says they say peace, peace to heal you slightly, but that does not make you get healed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Smoking weed, the healing of the nation, but we are not healed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Jeremiah says they say peace, peace in the music when there is no peace. That's according to Jeremiah that Muta Baruch don't like. You know, that's the that's the Bible that, you know, Muta Broker said don't make no
All
sense,
right.
and it's, you know, this is the slave master's book, and I never heard a slave master read this yet.
All right.
I don't hear Christians reading this. I've never heard a Christian read this yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't hear Rastaman reading this right here yet, with all their peace, one love, one heart in the music, in reggae.
And if you remember the time of the Maccabees,
Mhm.
if I may, the same thing they had done. They rode in and says, they said, you know, like, we all are one, man. Let us get together and thing. And people they agree. That was in Jerusalem, you know, in the time of the Maccabees.
Yeah.
That's why they removed the Maccabees. They don't want you to know these things because it opened to tell you that it's the Grecians that did this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we all know that the Grecians were Europeans,
That's
they were
right.
white people.
That's right.
Right. So they removed that book. So you don't know that they came and they gave us out of many one people.
Yeah.
They gave us, okay, man, let bygones be bygones, basically. So as that will lay our weapons down, and then they rise up in the night and they put on a slaughter.
Them say if you read the Maccabee Bible, them call it the Maccabee
Bible.
Them say
It's just a book.
It's just a book in the Bible, taken out by the Christian church, King James Version also. They say if you read the Bible, the Maccabee Bible, you get mad.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Siaga was a Lebanese Jamaican descent. There's no.
Okay, so what he's saying is from the States, like you said, he's from the United States, like you said.
All right.
But his people is from Lebanese. They said they call him a Lebanese Jamaican because he's in Jamaica, but he's descendant of Lebanese.
All right, read what it said.
Gunner one gun. This says, early life. Edward Philip George Siaga was born on the 28th of May, 1930, in Boston, Massachusetts, United States, to Philip George Siaga, who was of Lebanese Jamaican descent.
Slack, if I could. Boston is a place in America where you come from there, you hate black people. Black or white, you hate black people in the early 1900s.
Okay, gun.
Lucky, go ahead, cried one.
Gunner one gun. And Erna Nee Maxwell, who was Jamaican of African, Scottish, and Indian descent.
That look like them just true in the African. Looking at Siaga people, there's nothing. There's no black man. All right, but what we're picking up from there, for time's sake, is where he was born. Now, what does this have to do with crime? Google who may sit in the House of Representatives in Jamaica. Because this has been the birth of crime in Jamaica from the top. Yeah, you commit a serious atrocity, you commit this. You have it's like our constitution said don't put a next nation over us.
Yeah.
What happened to us every time we do that?
We went into slavery.
Now we have a man-made constitution. What you find anything in?
Slack, yes, sir. May I scroll through this and see if I see it?
You suppose you can find something that tells you.
Slack, just continue talking, man. May I find something, sir? Slack.
The qualification to sit in the House of Representatives in Jamaica.
Gunner one gun.
And it has nothing to do with university degree or a college degree.
Right.
The qualification to sit in the House of Representatives. It has to do with where you were born. Regardless of who your parents is, where you were born, what the birth certificate says. Yeah. And talk about where's the African descent in that? Maybe there's someone below the clothes. I'm not in the face.
I got a scripture also, right? It says Judges 3:12. It says, and the children of Israel is the biblical name for the collective Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? Who are not of any Caucasian or heathen descent, right? The children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, the Most High. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab. Moab is the biblical name for the Chinese. Strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel. So when you see heathens in the power like this, when you see Chinese people, the Moabites today, running Jamaica today, you know what I mean, running all of the commerce and doing big things in the economy. Well, the Bible is saying it's because of our sins against the Most High. We've been made to be weak, and the Most High has allowed the heathen to be strengthened. And he goes on to say, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. Then he goes on to say, 14. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. So the Bible is saying we became slaves to the Chinese
for 18 years.
For 18 years.
Right.
Because of our sins against the Most High. And that's what they want. They're bringing the Canadian reformer to make us sin more against the Most High. They want to bring in the CIA so we can murder our brothers and sin against the Most High. They want to legalize weed because that's one thing that made us weak. Ruin our families, ruin our brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? It strengthens the heathen against us. It's in the Bible that Musa Baruch says nonsense and a waste of time. In the same Bible that Musa Baruch says it's a waste of time and it's not for us. The Bible that Musa Baruch said is a waste of time and it's not for us. And you can't bother with it and you can't business.
But you know that the same thing that what you just read again.
This is Judges chapter 3.
When we became, this is how you know that our politicians know who we are, and what they are to do.
Yeah.
When they were just 2 months ago or last month, they had a formal twinning of Montego Bay City, twinned with a city in Greece named Scythia. Scythia is a Hellenistic city. And who were the Hellenists?
The Hellenists, according to the Zondervans, are Israelites that spoke Greek and wore Greek culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they highlight that.
Yeah.
But I know it flew over the head of the average Jamaican.
We don't know what that is. We don't know what that means.
Exactly. So that shows you that they know who they have in captivity.
And that is why people in Jamaica, you have to find Officer Abadawan, man. You see what I'm saying? Your eyes are closed without Officer Abadawan in Jamaica. Without Officer Kayadwan in Jamaica. You need to find these brothers, man. You see what I'm saying? So you can be wise to all of the signs in front of you. Without Officer Abadawan and Kayadwan, you just don't know what's going on. You don't got a clue. And you're hoping that all of the mysteries in your mind could be filled. But you're hungry. You're hungry and you don't know where to get fed. All right, no problem. Commander Engineer YAHANNA is raising up Officer Abadawan and Kayadwan, right, to help you.
And the big question is why would they make, why would they mention, this city is an Hellenistic city?
Yeah.
Because black people was there. But when you research who were Hellenists, it has nothing to do with Africans.
There you go.
It tells you directly that they were Jews from Jerusalem. They were black Jews. So the Greeks know who we in Jamaica are, and so does our politicians locally. So each act of violence and what I call this now, like what I want to get into with Edward Seaga, his birthplace and thing. These were deliberate. These are action deliberately designed to get us to sin. Yeah. They read our records. I mean, our records is in the hands of everybody. Right? They might can't interpret it. They would not have it 100%, but guess what? They know enough as to how to keep you in bondage.
Yeah. And to make themselves great.
And to make themselves great. And that's what they want. You think they need to know how to the proper way to do a sacrifice? Or the proper way to celebrate the Passover? You think they need to know that? All they need to know is feed them with crab, shrimp, and lobster.
Yeah, pork.
And pork.
Yeah. And from that, they will win and we will lose.
And fill their communities with wars.
Yeah, yeah.
Get them in wardom. Get them to smoke. That's all they need to know, you know. Right? If we believe that they need to understand it. So we break down the scriptures in the UPK. They don't need to do that. They don't need to do that to be on top. All they need to do is the things that we are telling you not to do. Celebrate birthdays, celebrate Christmas, celebrate Easter. They know that getting you to do those things. You find anything else then?
Not specifically on what you want, sir. I think you want no foreign national can sit in the House of Representatives, right?
Yeah,
Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Who's not in the Commonwealth? So like the reading kind of long and there's a lot of articles, but them now get straight to the point.
All right. Ask Google another way, you know. Can non-Jamaicans or non-Commonwealth people sit in the House of Representatives?
Everyone can.
Of Jamaica.
Everyone can.
If I could, I got one more scripture.
Go ahead.
Right. It says the book of Judith, right? King James Version, right? 1611 in Bible, right? The one that the Christian church took out again. Say if you read it, you're gonna get mad, right? It says, but if there be, it says, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, right? Edward Siaga is the governor, right?
Mm-hmm.
My Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, here's the problem: we don't know who our own God is. We worshiping the white man's God. You know what I mean? And that the rules according to our God is that is a sin. I'm read it again. If there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us, the heathen talking, let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So when you go to Tivoli Gardens, or you go to Cockburn Pen, or you go to Hungry Town, or you go to Waterhouse, or you go to East Kingston, and you go to Spanish Town, and you go to Maypen, and you go to St. Mary, and you go to Portland, and you go to Montego Bay, you see a people that has been overcome.
All right, carry on. Stick up it. I'm going to send us something in your WhatsApp.
Answer.
All right, check your WhatsApp. Continue, Officer Azam.
Okay. And it says, consider that this shall be their ruin. Now 21 says, but hear the heathen talking again, the Lord and Governor. If there be no iniquity in this nation, let my Lord, talking about the governor,
right?
Let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, lest their God defend them.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what they know. That's why they don't want us to, they don't want Jamaican people to be in the UPK. They want to give you some more skeng and what's the color and shensia. They need to give you all these things so you can be what? You can look for that and look up to that and not join Officer Abadawa.
And more one other.
And more clans.
And more clans.
And more unknown gang and scammer. Yeah. They say there's a rise in white collar crime, scamming. You know what I mean? They want to do more of that. You know what I mean? Because why? Your God will defend you is what these heathens are saying. And they know it. They know that your God will defend you. But you're too busy worshiping a white man God. You're busy worshiping an African as a God. Haile Selassie. They call him a black God.
Right.
You know what I mean? So here we are in Jamaica now. We are now a bunch of losers in the eyes of all of these Elamites, the so-called Indian from India, and all these Moabites, the Chinese in Jamaica. We are a bunch of losers to them, and they win every time because we sin against our own God.
All right, give us what you've got.
Canary one can. This says Commonwealth qualification.
Hold on.
And we're a loser to the we're a bunch of losers to the Canadian reformer.
Right. Canary one can. Canary one can. This says Commonwealth qualifications to sit in Parliament up for review.
Hold on.
Of the 13 provisions.
Share it.
Yes, sir. Say that again, sir.
Share it now. Share it. Make we see it on the screen.
Slakia, I can't share it from the phone right now.
No, man. Just look on the link and type in the link on the computer.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a second to get. I'm gonna finish the scripture while he.
All right. Yeah.
The pressure, right? It says, "But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them.
All right.
And we become a reproach before all the world."
All right.
The heathen talking.
All right. So they know.
So they
You think it's only we alone read that and understand it? No. The oppressor does read that and it does understand what that is saying. Because what that is saying, it's plain. It's not what's the word now? It's not rocket science, what that is saying.
Right. It's clear and simple.
Clear and simple.
So much so that to take it out of the Bible and making the word Christian and Catholic. You know what I mean?
You want me to send it in your Gmail?
Yeah, can, sir.
Give me the Gmail address.
Kayad1144.
Continue.
People out there in Jamaica who watch this now, watch this later, you should email. I don't know if you mind if people email you there. You put their email on live in public. Kayad1, right? Contact Kayad1, man. Email Kayad1144@gmail.com, man.
That would be the email that everyone should contact the I.S.U.P.K Jamaica if you want to contact.
The kingdom cometh not with observation, is what Christ said. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to sit back and watch YouTube and watch a whole ton of Israelite groups and think that you're going to get the kingdom and you're going to be the 144,000 because you just watch a bunch of groups or Israelite groups on YouTube.
Check it now. No, I said to him that he could check it. Continue.
Okay, come on. All right. So you have to find the I.S.U.P.K. The Bible says again in the King James Version, Ecclesiasticus, out of many counselors, you should have one. So if you're watching a whole bunch of Israelite groups trying to make the truth out of your own understanding, the Bible is saying that you're wrong for doing that. Proverbs 3:5. Lean not on thine own understanding is what God said in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So you're not supposed to figure out how righteousness is. You need to come in here. You got no father. Make Officer Abadawan and Kayadwan be your father. They're the father to the fatherless that the Most High said. You see what I'm saying? I want Ecclesiasticus. I'm trying to find. I think it's Ecclesiasticus 6 and 10. I'm gonna get it right because we're trying to get this already, right? There we go, right here. It says Ecclesiasticus 6, verse 6. It says, "Be in peace with many. Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000." So you might go to church and you listen to Muta Baruch and you follow all the Rastafarians out there, and you find an Israelite group in Jamaica, and you see another Israelite group, and you have another Israelite group. The Bible says, "Out of many, what? Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000." All right.
Right.
So that means you cannot follow everyone according to the Bible. You are doing what's wrong according to the Most High. If you follow every Israelite group and you're eating the meat and spitting out the bones, you don't know what's meat and what's bones. All right.
Exactly.
Because some people thought, go ahead.
And they need to know the difference.
And they need to know the difference. How do you know the difference? Verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not to credit him. You don't know IUIC. You thought you knew Muta Baruka. You don't know Muta Baruka. You see what I'm saying? Don't give him credit, man. Why? He goes on to say, verse 8, for some man is a friend for his own occasion. In Jamaica, don't they call a frenemy? Muta Baruka was a frenemy. You thought he was with you, going back to Zion, and he doesn't even like the Bible. The Bible is where you get the whole idea of Zion. The Bible is where you get King of Kings, Lords of Lords. The Bible is where you get the conquering lion from the tribe of Judah. You get that from the Bible. But if he gave Muta Baruka time, you see, if he was to prove him first, then you would see this is the man that's not really about no King of Kings, Lords of Lords. If he gave them the time. The Rastafarians are not really about the King of Kings, Lords of Lords. Because the Bible said the King of Kings, Lords of Lords will be coming back as he left from the clouds. Not on an airplane in 1970s.
In like manner. You find it?
Yeah.
Concert.
All right, check your mic. No, you see that these people understand facial expression and thing. You remember the video how she look at the man and hold on her face. You realize this. Hold on, and jump off again.
You put enough on the main screen. Carry on. If you can put us back, if you can put the article back up there, but because we was looking at it. So.
Like him have internet problem.
Okay.
About the sound come out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Problem. Our equipment problem. All right. Yeah. Give us some. All right. Same picture again. Now, from the moment this is March 9th, 2023, 12:09 a.m. And it states, Commonwealth qualification to sit in Parliament is up for review. All right, scroll up. Or down. Scroll down.
Gun. So like you want me read, sir?
Yeah, man, you're going to give us that kind of reading there.
Yeah, man, can. One of the 13 provisions of the Constitution to be reviewed for Jamaica to become a republic will include Commonwealth qualifications to sit in Parliament.
All right, so presently, you need to be a member of the Commonwealth country to sit in Parliament. That's what this is saying, right? Is that, am I the only one understanding it that way?
Yeah.
All right, read on.
Can. Speaking at the recent ministerial briefing hosted for diplomats at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in Kingston, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malao Fort said this matter is of particular importance to Jamaicans in the diaspora.
All right. Now them talking about Jamaicans in the diaspora because them done pretty up Siaga story now and say Jamaican parentage, eh? All right. So Jamaicans in the diaspora. But guess what? If you even change the law now, guess what? You broke the law already back then. You can't change it now and make it right.
Right.
Read on.
Can. There are Jamaicans in the diaspora who feel that there are many nationals within the wider Commonwealth who are constitutionally eligible to sit as a parliamentarian, but who have taken up citizenship in the United States, which falls outside of the Commonwealth and are barred from doing so, she said.
I want to read that part again.
Can.
Taken up.
Can. Slakia. Which Slakia? but who have taken up citizenship in the United States, which fall outside of the Commonwealth
So,
and are part
United States is what?
outside of the Commonwealth.
United States is not a member of the Commonwealth country.
Yeah.
And to sit in the House of Parliament, you need to be what?
A part of the Commonwealth.
You need to be born in one of the Commonwealth countries.
Right.
Where was Edward Seaga born?
In Boston, Massachusetts.
So we had a prime minister that was illegally put in place. Right. That was the beginning of the crime. And that was the man that the CIA came under and began to use. And regardless of how you want to look at it, say, well, you know, it was their puppet and whatever. It was a crime. And it is one which our leaders have not making it. As a matter of fact, they're even afraid to discuss it because they are afraid of backlash from CIA. Right? Well, maybe in a CIA country. They're afraid to talk. Right? Let me tell you this. You cannot. You notice when the Mosai is punishing Israel, where I'm doing it from? Show me one scripture in the one instance in the Bible where the Mosai went to the poor of Israel and punished them for atrocities committed against the Constitution, which is the laws. It's always the kings and the Levites. From the top, the Mosai work from the top. If you notice, when we read about the Babylonian captivity in the Bible, after they removed the Levites and the kings and carried them away in captivity, and when they look behind, it was the poor people that left behind. What they do? What they said to the poor? Remember we read that already, Officer Kayad one.
Salakia, say that again, sir.
The Babylonian captivity in the Bible. After they removed the king and the Levites and the skilled person, and then there was the poorer people leaving the land. What did they do?
And they took away the skilled people and, you know what I mean, the leaders.
Mm-hmm. And what they did with the poor?
The poor, they put them in bondage.
No, they leave them in the land and tell them to go and tend to the vineyard.
Okay, Salakia, come.
They weren't even interested in taking away the poor because, I mean, and that's how the Mosai work.
Right.
So we in Jamaica now, the crime was committed from the head, and yet still, who is paying? Who are they pressuring today? Right?
Poor.
The poor.
Gone.
Mosai don't work like that. And our politicians are afraid to make it right. Discuss the matter. Yeah, rather than discussing the matter, your Jim Screech now coming through the back door. I mean, we need to discuss, remove. Scroll back down to the topic, or they put it.
Which part, sir?
Again?
The title.
Yeah, the title. What it says?
Commonwealth qualification to sit in Parliament up for review.
Yeah, so this is how the politicians deal with it. Put the matter out in the table. Edward Seaga was illegally a prime minister in Jamaica, and it should not have happened.
Right.
You can't get around that. And that was, it's right there on the internet. How the CIA bring in the guns and things. It's no secret to those who read. And every time they talk about crime, they talk about, well, the poor, this is what they are doing. But where did it come from? You're afraid to discuss the matter. Yeah. When the kings of Israel sin, the Mosai don't detach their sin from the punishment that was placed on the nation. Yeah, what you were saying?
Salakia, sir, if I may, sir, at the same political party who Seaga was a part of is now, trying to get this review.
Yeah, they are trying to decorate the tree. I can look bad.
Gun.
Look bad already. Cut down the tree properly, man.
Right.
And try decorating the tree. When I made a grave mistake. And as to me see it now, you're trying to make things right and you're going to make another mistake. Because now you're not only going to give us you might stitch the problem of putting illegal people in parliament. But guess what? You're giving some LGBT right now.
Right.
So a couple of years from now, the generation is going to, just like how we now look back and say, that generation was a bunch of assholes. You know, make an illegal man come be a prime minister and had so much power in the country, which should not have happened. Well, you see, a couple years from now, they are going to look back at this generation and say, they are a bunch of assholes. Yeah. But do you politicians who are in House of Parliament now, as a matter of fact, they have another thing to come out with too. But sit down in there just like drug dealers discussing the next shipment of ganja. Yeah. Legal drug dealers. Yeah. But anyways, topic for another discussion, that is. Anyway, that's my take on their matter. The take of crime and the seed of crime was sown from the top. Stop pressure the youth them. Find a way to correct the youth them. And at the same time correct the top. Yeah.
Gun. So all right, so we're up on the time right now. If you know what I mean, if Slakia Officer Azhar, you have any more thing to add to that before we close out?
Yeah, just order for having me. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got
man, no sweat.
With that one and third one, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what about me tonight? You know what I mean?
Gun. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. So
my final talk is, you know, you Jamaican politician, get off the backs of the poor. Get off the man on the road who is a shatter. You don't know say how they turn him in a shatter.
Right.
Correct that. Right? Want to make mistakes from up the top from way back when. Bring it out in the table. Bring it openly and discuss it. And make the corrections. I will not go and have hell down there. As a matter of fact, we go and have hell down there because I don't live too. Me just up here for a visit. Right? And I love my yard. I don't have a mind to live in the States, you know, because trust me, them cruel up here just maybe even worse. But the thing is, at least back home, you have a little rain in your hand. Do something good with it. What? Is it that the CIA is still intervening in Jamaica's politics? Is that the case? No wonder still, you know.
Good.
Right? That's my take.
Gun. All right, so with that, we're going to close out another interesting show. You understand? Remember, it's the Breakdown podcast with, you know what I mean? Well, Captain Nayatak was not here tonight. You know what I mean? Hopefully him come in for the next show. We had a guest, Priest and Officer Azahab. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Bless the show with his presence tonight. And also Officer of 1,000. You know what I mean? The man to, you know what I mean, come to in Jamaica. You understand? The man with the key for Jamaica. You understand? Under commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? And Officer Kayad one. And with that, we're going to close out. Remember, if you like this video, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica, as well as, you know what I mean, the Breakdown channel. And with that, we're going to close off with some UPK news.
Hold on. I forget Captain Tazariak a shout out.
That's right.
For allowing us to use headquarters to broadcast.
Okay.
That's right.
Most definitely, man.
Big up.
Big up to Captain Tazariak.
No, you know, that shows that the UPK is really one spirit.
Right.
Whether you are captain of 10,000 or a 13,000 or a general, or you're just a mere officer of 1,000, like, well, maybe I shouldn't say mere still, because, you know, Yeah,
So,
but
1,000 is a big rank.
right. So, you could have said no, but because of the spirit, UPK has one spirit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Captain Tizariak.
Yeah.
Big, I would say, Tawada for allowing us.
Right. And if I could, unlike your fake Israelite groups, we don't quench another man's zeal in here.
Right.
Yeah. So Captain Desire is like, okay, yeah, you want to do a show in New York, you can't do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go to IUIC and you're a foreigner, you go to his place. No, I don't want him on my table. No, I don't want him touching my chair. Because that's how they are over there. You see what I'm saying? They're like that in church. They're like that in the Rastafarian community. You have to find the I.S.U.P.K, man. I ain't mean to run on carrying on. But the Bible says, seek the old path, and we're the only ones performing the old path.
Right.
The old way of brotherhood. When brotherhood was good. You know what I mean? The brotherhood that made us grow into kingdoms. And we didn't hate our brother. If we have a difference between brothers, we'll sort the issue out so we can love each other again. And dwell in peace and unity. The same peace and unity that reggae could not provide. And that Ruka is not going to provide. All right? Yeah, we have to stop being sluggers in Jamaica, and you have to find the I.S.U.P.K. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And with that, Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Thumb.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Thumb.
Yeah, go to messed up, no. Bad news is to be your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I go with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Hawkins. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the cow, then would you speaking to me fart? Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. You can't do with them steps, but niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I read that bitches like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the